guys, I am Jamie Sumner and I am the author of the Roll With It series. This is the fun boxed set, and I am here today to talk to you about the third and final book, Rolling On. Now in this series, it starts off with Roll With It, and Ellie is in 6th grade and she's just moved to Oklahoma to live with her grandparents and her mom. Whole new school, whole new everything. And then she makes some friends. She enters a baking contest. She enters a beauty pageant because her friend Coralie talks her into it in the second book. The third book, Rolling On, it's the middle of her 8th grade year, and she's like facing going to high school next year, which she's not really excited about. She's actually pretty nervous because it's hard to start over. She doesn't know what to expect, and she really has loved the time she's had in middle school. So I'm going to read you the very beginning where this kicks off, which is the Christmas time, in Rolling On, and I hope you like the beginning because this is like kind of the beginning for her of like a new season. So here we go. It's entitled Welcome Home. You can't unsmell a smell. Once it's there for life. And every bus smells the same. Sickly sweet gas and smoky, choky exhaust. It sends me right back to elementary school and waiting for the wheelchair lift to take its fine time cranking down so I could roll on up. The bus depot in McAllister is no different, but this time I'm sucking it in like sweet, sweet Christmas pine because Bert is coming home. Bert is her other best friend besides Coralie. You got the sign? No, Ellie, I left it in the trailer, Coralie deadpans. You're hilarious, I say. I glance over at her, bundled in a silver puffer coat and white earmuffs. I see no sign. Wait. You do have it, right? It's in the caddy, chill. She jerks a mittened thumb back toward where Susie, Coralie's step-grandma, waits in the car. Well, go get it! You go get it! She shoves me, so I pivot and roll towards the car. Susie passes the sign through the window, which was already down despite the sub-zero temps because she's back on the camels. She says she'll quit again for Lent. We'll see. Here, darling. Bird's got at the corner a bit, but the rest is fine. Susie winks. She says the trailer full of cockatoos is more hazardous to her health than the smokes. By the way, Coralie lives in a trailer with her grandpa and her step-grandma, and they have cockatoos flying around the trailer. A bus screeches to a halt behind me, and the doors are already whooshing open by the time I get back to Coralie, who shakes her head. Always be prepared, that's what I say. You almost missed the big welcome home. Shut it, Coralie, and help me hold up the sign. She takes one end, and I take the bird-nibbled corner and raise it high. I clock Bert as he's jogging down the steps with a duffel bag larger than he is slung over his shoulder. He looks different. His dark hair, usually so neat and combed, is a big mess of whorls and spikes, and is he taller? Maybe it's just the sweatpants. Wait, Bert is in sweatpants? Where are the iron jeans? What is happening? Girl, higher! Coralie hip checks my shoulder and lifts the sign so he can get a clear view. One thing you've got to know about Bert, he's never in a hurry. So when he eventually nudges his way around the other tired passengers hunting for their family and friends on this cold January morning, I am jumping up and down in my seat to keep blood flowing to my extremities. I would like to take my toes back home with me, thank you very much. He spots us on the sidewalk, eyes the sign, and tilts his head. No grin. No wave. Just a nod and then a slow jog over to us. Who's Robert? He asks. What? I say. I'm trying to wriggle my toes, make sure they're intact. Also, I'm busy studying him. It's like my memory has laid a picture of Bert side by side with this new one, and I'm trying to spot the differences. He points to the sign. It says, "Welcome home, Robert." In glitter, Coralie adds with a grin. That girl would do anything for a tube full of glitter. It's your name, Bert, I explain. He blinks at me like I'm the one not in on the joke. I know that, he says. Geez, man, Coralie punches him on the shoulder. Between his navy fleece and her mittened hand, I doubt he even feels it. We were trying to be funny, she says. He looks at me. You never call me Robert. He's only been gone 2 weeks, but with the 2 weeks before that, when I went home to Nashville to visit my dad and his wife Meg and my half-brothers, this is the longest I've ever gone without seeing him. I clear my throat. Well, things change, I say. He nods at both of us. Then, finally, he smiles, a real Bert smile that crinkles the corner of his eyes and something in me flutters, like the fin of a fish brushing past you in the murky dark of a lake. It's not bad, just weird. I pretend it isn't there, like you do with all the things you can't see underwater. Come on, Coralie says, making Bert carry his own sign. Your parents will think you never came home from this fancy pants science camp of yours. We promised we'd drop you off at the Food & Co. so they could see you right away. Bert's parents owned the grocery store in town. I think they've already scheduled you for a shift, I joke. But not really, because Bert's parents' grocery store is a family business, and everyone pitches in when they can. Now that all his siblings have gone back home after the holidays, they need all the help they can get. It wasn't science camp, Bert says, as we make our way through the frosty morning light. It was the Kentucky Young Environmentalist Consortium, and we were required to complete rigorous academic courses as well as individual capstone projects in order to receive the Certificate of Achievement at the end. Coralie opens the back door for me and asks him while I'm transferring in, "And did you complete this capstone-y thing and get your certificate, Roberto?" I did. He points to my chair, and then at my nod, he folds it up and loads it in along with his duffel in the trunk. Then he hops in the back with me, and his cheeks and the tip of his nose are pink, and the collar of his jacket is tucked inside his sweatshirt. And for one crazy second, I want to reach over and straighten it. What is wrong with me? Bert talks for the entire 32-minute drive from McAllister to Eufaula, but I do not hear one word about the Kentucky Young Environmentalist Consortium, or his project, or the dorm rooms at the boarding school where it was held. Instead, I watch the lights sparkling on the frosted grass along the highway, and I count the tar-covered lines on the concrete road that are taking us home, and I do not think about the fish swishy feeling I got when Bert, one of my best friends, smiled at me. That is the beginning of Rolling On. And I have a little assignment for you if you want to think about it. Because life is full of changes, and this is what Ellie faces all the time. But a transition as big as like middle school to high school or elementary to middle school, that's big stuff. And I want you to think about it. Like you could literally draw it on a page and do pluses and minuses. And you could literally write on one side the pluses, things you're really excited about a change you have coming up in your life. It doesn't have to be a grade change or like middle school to elementary or elementary to middle or whatever. It could be something that you feel is big. And I want you to write the pluses, things you're excited about. And then on the other side, I want you to write the minuses, things you're kind of scared about. Because sometimes when you put stuff down on paper, it makes you a little braver and it makes you kind of understand what you're feeling. That's why I write books. It's because it helps me understand the world and how I'm feeling about life. So think about something that you have on your heart or on your mind that you're maybe a little nervous about, some change coming up, and try the pluses and minuses and just see what comes out. But anyway, all that to say, thank you so much for listening to the beginning of Rolling On, and I really hope you enjoy it.